So why should Kentucky end the drug war? Oh my God, let me count the ways. I got an article here, notbeinggoverned.com. 8 reasons to end prohibition of drugs immediately. I agree with every single one of them. It's well written. We'll read the headlines. Okay, so number 1. It'll reduce violent crime. Ever since Colorado had legalized marijuana, crime has gone down. In fact, I almost feel like we live in a police state, such a big police state in New York. When the cops stood down after the 2 cops that got shot, Eric Garner was killed, the 2 cops got shot, and then they were going to be nice and not ticket anybody, crime went down. So when the police took a step back, crime goes down. So are they the ones that's creating this culture of violence and intimidation? Are they the ones, being the biggest gang on the street, but you have all the power. So why you got to be such a fucking Nazi? De-escalate the situation. Rise above the situation. Don't be like, hey, boy, did you just look at my eyes? Now get up against the wall so I can rape you. No. See, that's Louisville jailer type bullshit. And that's, that's Kentucky State Police type bullshit. It's bullshit. So not only does it reduce violent crime in the general population, but it also seems like it's either saying that they're the violent criminals or they're the ones creating the culture for the violent criminals. Number 2, improve seller accountability and drug safety. Right now, heroin, meth, it's all underground. So if somebody was to go get themselves some crocodile, some devil's breath, some sort of illegal off-market drug, they're going in the black market. They're going to some, shadowy dealer in the middle of the alley or whatever, and who knows what they actually have. It's also a way to protect them because, they could get robbed. So the person who actually is dealing the drugs, could get robbed. And what are they going to do? That's their supply, that's their product, that's their private property, and yet when they get robbed, what are you going to do? Call the police? Ha ha ha. Go fuck yourself. By continuing prohibition, we maintain a criminal underclass. It's how we created Al Capone. We've been creating Al Capones of many sorts. Not alcohol anymore, right? Alcohol is everywhere. Everybody's Al Capone these days. But the prohibition, especially with cannabis. Cannabis, it's not even alcohol. You're a liar. You've been lying your entire lives. The reason why you fucking lie about marijuana is so you can keep oppression and control of either the general population because you're a white-collar mafia prosecutor or police officer or an oppressive, abusive parent who just wants to, of course drugs are bad, but so is lying, and you're lying to your kids. Why would you lie to your kids? Because you're an asshole who just wants to oppress and manipulate them? Is that why? If you're a prosecutor and the cops, well, it's in your economic incentive to lie. It's in your economic, the drug war makes a lot of money for the white-collar mafia. You could tow the vehicle that pays tow trucks. You got, you got the advocates, you got the judges, you got the bailiffs, you got all the personnel, the administrators, the secretaries. You got so many people. You got the police officers, you got the jailers, you got all the fees here, fee there, fee everywhere. Well, what are you charging me fees for? Well, because I beat the shit out of you and threw you in jail, so, I'm going to charge you some fucking fees. Oh, okay, but that's not stealing, right? That's not hypocrisy. They can rob the fuck out of you. That's not a crime. But if you were in a ditch off to yourself, injecting heroin, that's something they'll kick your ass for and rob the fuck out of you for. That's not a crime. Them kicking your ass, robbing the fuck out of you, taking away your freedoms, not a crime. Them being in a ditch and harming or maybe making themselves feel better, crime. That's a crime, and that's what us, the taxpayers, are going to finance. Because that's how you help addicts, right? Improve seller accountability, drug safety, number 2. Number 3, reduce drug availability to children. You want less access to children? Have it in a public place. Alcohol. It's publicly regulated. So if a minor tries to go buy alcohol, well, then you need an ID, and then, there's cameras and all that. It's at a public retail store. But actually, it's easier for high schoolers to get a hold of marijuana than it is for them to get a hold of alcohol. So you want less proliferation of drugs all over the place. You want less of a black market. Get that black market and put it up on top so we can all see what's going on. Oh, okay, that's what's going on. And but as long as you got this black criminal underclass market, you're going to have kids that's going to be able to get a hold of it because it's, underground. And there are no age limits. So reduce nonviolent prisoner population. So does anybody care about the conservative argument of the taxes that we pay? You bunch of fascist Nazis can't wait to get that heroin addict off to the side, can't wait for the cops to break through his door, beat the shit out of him, throw him in jail, rape him in jail, steal his money, wreck his fucking life, right? To help him. Because you say that it's bad for him to be doing that, so you're going to save him by fucking up his life, right? Reduce nonviolent prison population. So the money that actually goes in to this ridiculous, stupid, failed drug wars, failed for 100 years. How long does something have to fail before someone says, all right, it's failed? Shit, teachers get pissed off about standards, as if they never gave a test in their life. And now politicians are mad because their stupid fucking programs don't work. Your war on drugs is a failure. It's bullshit. It's causing more pain and anguish than anybody could have ever imagined. It sets up the white-collar mafia, right? But also the cost. The nonviolent prisoner population. That's what prisons are for. They're for the criminals. They're for the bad people. They're for the murderers. They're for the rapists. They're for the thieves. But instead, the rapists are the ones covering the jails. The thieves are the ones that's in the jailhouses. The violent criminals are the ones that have a badge. In fact, there are greater instances of domestic violence, mental health issues, and drug abuse amongst the police force. So you're getting a criminal, drug-induced, domestic and violently, set up domestic violence, drug-induced mental psychopath, and you give him a gun, and you say, go beat that heroin addict up on the, next door. It's the law. I gotta beat you up because it's the law. Oh, you know the fucking law so well. You wouldn't even be able to pass a basic Kentucky Constitution civic exam. If so, here I'll ask you two questions. How many sections are in Kentucky's Bill of Rights? You don't know. And now tell me this. What's the fourth section of Kentucky's Constitution? You don't know that either, okay? What's the second? What's the first? What's the third? What's the 25th? You're fucking ignorant. You don't know shit. The Kentucky Constitution is the main governing body of law. It's where all the other laws come from. And if you don't even know Kentucky's Constitution, I'm supposed to pretend that you understand the fucking law about everything else? Goo. Get the fuck out of here. You don't know shit. This goes to all the perpetuators of the fucking drug war. So how much we spend on these prisons? $40-something billion, right? They're fucking heroin addict, and we're going to spend billions of dollars, give them a food and bed and clothing and cable and make sure they're just it's a goddamn Holiday Inn, right? And that's supposed to reform them, hanging them out with a bunch of criminals, with a bunch of rapist jailers. In fact, the whole fucking building's a bunch of criminals. They don't act right. Look at the Stanford prison experiment. All you have to do is put on the jailer uniform, then all of a sudden you become the oppressor with the whip. Shut the fuck up. Do as the fuck as I tell you. That destroys their humanity, destroys your own humanity, but you can't break out of that relationship because y'all both have a fear of freedom. It's Paulo Freire. But still, it's a sadistic, the jail is a sadistic, backwards fucking place. It's not for somebody who smoked the fucking joint. And a heroin addict is a public health issue. He needs, if anything, if he's crying for help, maybe if he's in a ditch, give him a house, give him a job, give him some love and support. But if that's his thing, that's his fucking thing. Who the fuck are you to judge anybody? He's an American. He's allowed to he could shoot his own head off if he wants to. How are you going to stop that? He wants to jump off a bridge. How are you going to stop that? You're going to stop it and then throw him in prison for years, right? So he was sad and depressed, and he was about to jump off a ledge. He started just overdosing on heroin. And your fucking solution to his oppression and depression and his drug addiction is to fuck him up and throw him in fucking jail? Come on. That's such horseshit. You don't give a fuck about that person. You just want to ruin their life. And guess what? they're coming right back out. They get out, and then what are they supposed to do? Get a job with a fucking felony conviction on their fucking record? Get a fucking job? Yeah, right. That's not the fucking point. The point is to fucking ruin them, and that's that's fascist Nazism, and that's immoral. That's, there's no morality. Basically a bunch of fucking psychopaths running around out here seeing who can get over on the other better. Yeah, sure, I stole, but I got a badge. Yeah, so what? I'm a sodomizing rapist Louisville jailer, but I got a badge. And I got the fucking Mike McConnell who fucking cover my ass. I got a badge. I'm allowed to commit as many fucking crimes. Real crime can be dealt with. So instead of just ruining people's lives for things that aren't even fucking issues, throwing people in jail for library books, for seatbelts. Oh my God, this criminal injustice system is going rampant. It's going on too fucking much. They're millionaires. They're lawyer judge millionaires. They get $130,000 to judge. Do we get $130,000 worth of justice? No, we get a bunch of assholes looking for any petty little tiny fucking thing to fuck somebody's life over. And it's all about the money. So sure, you can fuck their life over, but can you get any money from them? So, I think it's ridiculous. It's not about morality. It's not about truth or justice. There's crimes that's happening right in front of their faces, but they're going to be hypocrites and say that something else that didn't. There is no victims, so that's a crime. Murderers, rapists, thieves. That's the big four evils. Murder. Can we agree that murder is wrong? Boone County, Louisville, LMPD, can we agree that murder is wrong? Y'all killed Leon Brackens. All y'all, like 15 fuckers, killed Leon Brackens. And all y'all watched him. So, we have murder, don't steal, don't rape, and don't hit. So, I feel like these are clear crimes. If I went up to you and just punched you in the mouth, that's a fucking crime. If I raped the shit out of you, that's a crime. If I murdered you, that's a crime. And if I stole something that was your property, that's a crime. And until we can agree on those four evils, I'm not for sure if anybody has any goddamn morals out here. That's one of the great things I love about myself is I have a strong sense of justice and of doing what's right. I have a strong sense of, it doesn't matter. Murder is wrong. It doesn't matter if you got a badge on or not. Having a badge on, if anything, that gives you power. That makes you more susceptible to corruption. You have the inclination to do it, and you got the power to cover it up. My God, that's fucking perfect for a serial killer. My God, that would be the best job in the world for some racist, violent, psycho, serial killing piece of shit. Be a cop. You'll get away with all your crimes, and you'll have the entire force covering your fucking ass. All these goddamn lawyers, county attorneys sitting there saying they follow you. The tail wags the dog. So you get to be in charge of a rogue militia military unit. You don't even have to wear your uniform. You can just be driving in your own regular car. You can just go shopping at a Dollar General store. Who gives a fuck if you're off duty? Just start beating the shit out of people, right? You say, well, I thought he was going to steal something. Well, fuck it. You're allowed to beat the fuck out of that guy, right? Tow his truck, tow the car, take his fucking vehicle, take his freedom, take every fucking thing away from him. So, those are the big four evils. I haven't heard too much agreement on that. That's, murder is wrong. Murder is wrong whether we do it with war at the sound of trumpets with lots of armies, or whether, one person just shoots another in cold blood. You're taking a life. And there's nothing, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. You're not even giving us life. And so we know what you think about our freedom and pursuit of happiness. You're taking away our fucking life. So real crime can be dealt with. If we weren't just fucking with all these stupid petty little, there's in Colorado how they got that passed in Denver, the cops were pissed off. We're tired of fucking with these tiny little fucking weed things, man. Everybody's smoking weed. Who gives a shit? We need to actually be free to go after the real criminals. While we're sitting there fucking with this, this old grandmother who's smoking because she's got glaucoma, we could actually be going after the rapists, murderers. But what about some rich fucking people? I never see cops arrest rich people, politicians, other police officers. The community would love that. If you want to tell me that you're fair and balanced, okay, let's see some fair and balanced. Don't just arrest poor black folks. Let's actually go arrest some rich plutocrats. Let's arrest these bankers that fucked up our society and about blew up the world in 2008. Let's arrest, some of these insider trading type, white collar criminal sort of syndicates. Let's get them behind bars. It takes the feds. It takes the FBI. To investigate Kentucky politicians before we actually see any justice. Corruption, shit runs downhill. It runs downhill. So if the top is corrupt, all bets are the locals will be corrupt too. And maybe not. Maybe the locals say, fuck the state. We do our thing here the way we like it, and that's the way we're going to do it. That's a state, that's a county I want to live in. Okay, so encourage genuine treatment for addicts. Yeah, actually fixing the problem, right? Instead of spending so much goddamn money for a luxurious fucking hotel and making them, sit around just so you can pay the jailers and pay this and pay that and make all this fucking money, you can actually put them in rehab or put them in programs. I think love is really the biggest thing. Love, Maslow's hierarchy says, food, water, clothing, basic things that you need. And then after that, you need safety, security. So you need to, not be around where people could rob you, rape you, kill you, or steal from you. Once you get your safety, then you get love. And then from that love, you get respect. So what that makes me think is that perhaps that's what, the psychopathic culture where people are just isolating you in jail, right? They put you in solitary confinement. You got, good people, Edward Snowden, Chelsea Manning, who did the right thing, who did good things, exposed criminals, and they're the ones fucking sitting in jail. Kentucky Anonymous was a man in Kentucky that had exposed the Steubenville rapist on the football team. Right? Thought it was hilarious. We raped this, poor girl at a drunk frat party, and we were laughing about it, and Kentucky Anonymous exposed them by, tapping their internet or whatever. And the FBI wanted to arrest Derek Ledstutter. Kentucky Anonymous. That's the criminal. Those are the people, the whistleblowers. The people saying bad shit has happened. Those are not the criminals. Whistleblowers, it takes so much courage. Not only do you lose your fucking job when you stand up and say, hey, this shit's going on, but also, you're not believed. People like shit all over you, and so now you're putting your reputation on the line to do something right, and then people are just shitting all over you. Like, what the fuck? Part of me would say if Edward Snowden, he did the right thing. But if Edward Snowden would have been sitting in his NSA desk and been like, I could do the right thing for the American people, but I'm not for sure if they'll actually rally to my defense. So I could do the right thing and do the moral thing and say we're a free country, we should always be a free country, or I could just take my $100,000 every goddamn year and keep listening to this fucking old grandma go on and on about this puppy dog that keeps coming back and she keeps feeding it and don't know where it's coming from. What the fuck? I would understand if Edward Snowden did not fucking tell any of the things that he said. If he would have just sat in his office and got his $100,000. NSA employs lots of people. Lots of people are doing that. How many people stepped up before Snowden? So we still have an NSA that's still tapping everybody's phones and reading everybody's emails. We still have that. That is still going on. Okay, so I would understand if, but that's not the point. The point is we need to have a culture that is conducive for our truth tellers, for our heroes. We're the people, and the government should be transparent. They've flipped it around. They're making us transparent, and they get all the fucking secrets. I don't think so. In America, we are the ones that have a right to privacy. They are the ones that are being paid by us. They are our servants. They should be transparent. So the Patriot Act, we need to undo the Patriot Act and actually put forth something that gets them. A true Patriot Act, the real Patriot Act. Something that makes the government completely transparent. So, yeah, we could actually get real treatment for the addicts. We could actually fix the fucking problem if we're being serious. But we're not being serious. We're not trying to fix the problem. We're trying to, make sure the prosecutors get to line up, all their prosecutor friends get lots of that drug money, all them drug judges get all that drug money, just money, money, money coming out their fucking ears, right? That's one part of it. Fascists, the will to power. People just want to, stomp others and they get a thrill off of it. God, if you don't understand that you build culture and you share stories, you just understand control and power. I guess that is all you would get that's all you would actually, man, I yelled at that motherfucker and that motherfucker did it. I'm such a good person. I'm like Superman. No, you bullied a fucking weak person that probably wasn't in jail, shouldn't have been in jail to begin with. So you're an asshole. You're a sadistic fascist piece of shit. And you have to destroy people's humanity just to love them. Which means you're dead on the inside. And so that's really the biggest, problem that I see in my American society. Too many fucking unempathetic psychopaths. And I wonder if that's like in the drive to be superhumans. Walk past that homeless guy. Oh, fuck him. Social Darwinism. He don't know what he's talking about. He did wrong. I'm not like that asshole. I'm going to walk past him so I don't fall in the gutter like he does. What they could do to one of us, they could do to us all. United we stand, divided we fall. And prevent drug overdoses. Right? Fixing the problem. Less people dying of the shit. Is that what you want? Less people dying? And then the very last one, the 8th reason. This is 8 reasons to end drug prohibition. Protect individual rights. It's my fucking body. Who the fuck are you to tell me what I can do with my fucking body? If I want to drink gasoline, throw myself down a flight of steps, stick a fucking fork in my eye, are you going to make forks illegal? You're going to make forks illegal to protect me? Yeah, fuck you. You see me about to jab a fork in my eye or throw me down a flight of steps, you would just sit back and be like, oh, let's look at this asshole. Ha ha ha, fuck him. And then, if I get a fucking needle and start getting heroin, injected into me, you would either sit back and laugh or say, well, let's just beat the shit out of this motherfucker. Fuck him. So it's my body, and it's all of our bodies. And when did we lose the right as Americans to our own body? When did we lose the right to our own body? The TSA, that's the government taking care of security for private companies. I got a private company here. So, can I get some security forces? It's almost like Germany, right? Germany got a sweet deal. They don't have to pay for military. They get their military provided for free. But that's a whole nation. Private companies get government welfare in order to infringe upon our freedoms. It's the airport. I could kind of understand that. But it's based upon my consent. If I am appalled by their private company practices, then I'm going to fucking drive. I'm going to walk. I ain't going to use the airport or go to use a different airline. I have a choice to not even engage in that relationship with them. But the government is just fucking saying, we're going to do whatever the fuck we want to do. Protect your individual rights. Do you care about your freedoms? Do you care about your civil liberties? I mean, isn't that what we like? The revolution we all fought and died for. All these wars, World War I, World War II, World War IV, 5, and 6. Freedom, democracy. Did that actually matter? Does freedom and democracy actually matter? Is that just shit we say when we go bomb some poor brown people? And then the last best reason is everywhere the war on drugs has been implemented, it has failed, and everywhere that the alternative has been implemented to the drug war. Whenever there's only been a handful of alternatives, maybe a dozen or two, but anytime we've tried or seen the alternatives, they work. Whether you're all about, just cannabis gardens for everybody, cannabis here, cannabis there, cannabis everywhere, like Colorado or Portugal, where you're just decriminalizing it. You're just saying, all right, we're not going to fuck your life over for this shit anymore, okay? We're not going to fuck your life over. Or we'll go to do what Uruguay was doing, and they were like regulating the fuck out of it, right? The government could only sell you so much, only could sell you an ounce a month. You get to go in there, sign up, you get your ounce, but it heavily taxed, and they're the biggest dealers. I mean, it was too much regulation. But it was, decriminalized and legalized. It was actually full-blown legalized, but with heavy regulation. So those are our options. Decriminalization, legalization, legalization with lots of regulation. Or let's just keep the drug war going, keep the criminal class going, make sure we're busting everybody that isn't really hurting anybody else, and let the criminals go free, waste lots of taxpayer money, and fuck your freedoms. Fuck your liberty, fuck your body, fuck your life. Is that what we want to do? So anyways, fuck the bullshit. John Masters, Occupy.